So this is how to make an electroscope. First, you start with some copper wire, aluminum foil, a plastic top and a straw. You have to cut the plastic top to size. You need to have a glass jar, electrical tape, but any tape will work, a hole puncher preferably. And so first you spin the copper wire into a spiral shape. You can use wire cutters or something like that. That way it has the most surface area possible. Make sure it's pretty thick. Then you will cut two aluminum foil teardrop shaped. This will be where the electrons, where you can physically see the electrons when there's electrons going between them and they spread apart because of the excess electrons. And then, this is the whole point of the photoelectric. What will happen is the photons from the sunlight will come and they will take the discharge in the excess electrons and allow the aluminum foil to go back together. And that's why this could be a demonstration of the photoelectric effect. Now you will bend the copper wire into a hook shape so the aluminum foil can rest on it and get the electrons from the vinyl record. After you bend the hook, you will put the aluminum foils on. Make sure you don't rip them, because they need to have contact with the hook and the copper. Then place them in the glass jar to provide a sealed area for the electrons to discharge. Use the electrical tape to make sure the plastic lid is on tight. Try and make sure that the aluminum foil is not touching the edges of the glass jar. Tape it down tightly. Now you have made your completed electroscope. Now you can try to see if the electrons will go for your experiment. Take out your record. It should be vinyl to make sure that the electrons come off when you're rubbing it, and then put it to the copper. Rub it and then put it close to the copper. You don't need to touch it. Just get it close. That way the electrons can jump through the air from the vinyl record, which you just rubbed, to the copper wire. A real electroscope uses a gold leaf, which when the electrons are charged, they will spread apart and they won't go back together until you put UV light on it. This is very similar. The aluminum foil won't go back together unless it has enough energy from the photons of light, enough frequency and energy from the photons to discharge all the electrons in the aluminum foil. You can see here that the aluminum foil, they'll stay apart as long as the vinyl record is kept close to them, but as soon as the vinyl record leaves, the electrons will stop coming and the photons of light will send the energy from the visible light to eject the electrons. And so the aluminum foil teardrop sheets will fall back together again. So this was an electroscope, and it's a good demonstration of the photoelectrical effect.